morning, Mr. Thomas. Today's question is, how do you measure whether the software is meeting its intended goals post-implementation?
Uh, yeah, good morning to you also, Lavanya. Thank you very much for the question. Um, so, as the question says, what happens is during the initial requirement gathering phase, there is a process called business requirement gathering or business requirement documentation, which um, mentions the goals or the objectives that the organization want to achieve through the software. Say, for example, the organization may decide to put in a budget element and invest heavily on the software with a hope that their revenues will grow to some number, or their productivity will grow to some number, or their delivery of the product or service will reduce by so many days, the time taken. So they will have certain goals, certain objectives, even before they decide on starting the software. Now, the way in which they can ensure that they've been successful with the entire implementation is by looking at the trend of each of these metrics. So the first thing they have to ensure is that the software is able to provide a real-time view of each of these metrics, whatever they have decided as their goals. So what might usually happen is these metrics that are there. It could be revenue, it could be cost, it could be time taken, it could be inventory, anything. Usually there will be a negative trend during the time of implementation because there might be a parallel work, or there might be a little training time that might be required for the team members, and all that can cause a small temporary dip, and sometimes it might not. I'm just saying that there might be a dip like that because of the transitioning effort and duration. And after some time, once the transitioning is done and once the training and implementation and all that is done and adaptation is quite high, they will start observing these trends of all these metrics to start going up slowly. And as they keep monitoring it, they should be constantly checking. In fact, they can keep certain reminders inside the software itself with the pre-created objectives and pre-created KPIs or key performance indicators as a goals, and see whether the software is actually helping to achieve those numbers. So you can even have a dashboard which says we wanted to have our revenue reaching, let's say, 200 crores. Okay. But currently our revenue is at 160 crores. And then you can actually have a dashboard which shows that 160 achieved out of 200. Or for example, it could be inventory levels. The current inventory levels is, let's say, 5 crores. And the company wants to reduce the inventory level to just 2 crores. How they will do that? Through the better management of the supply chain management, or the procurement management, or the inventory planning, reordering numbers, and all that. They can actually reduce the inventory from 5 crores to 2 crores. Now they can have it on their dashboard itself as to this is the goal. 2 crores is the goal, but currently it is around 5 crores. So they can keep observing that as to how it is coming down. And the dashboard, real time dashboard itself, can show whether they are moving towards that whatever objectives that they have set or not, whether they are moving towards those numbers and all that. And once they have reached those numbers, that means they have been successful and they have achieved the intended goals, the ones that they set even before they started working on the software, or they started procuring the software, the custom software development. So this is how they can do it, by setting goals, monitoring the goals, and also having real-time updates on a dashboard which can show them how the numbers are moving. And ultimately, of course, maybe after a few weeks or months, maybe even few years, the numbers would have achieved. Yeah, so that's how it is done now. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.